welcome to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Threadtails. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I thought I would share with you part one of my new series, which is what will I be sewing this summer? So today I'm going to be talking all about dresses, and in particular I'm going to be talking about woven dresses. I dream about different dresses that I would like to wear over the summer, and every year I run out of time and end up not making all the things that I wanted to make. So I'm trying to put together a bit of a plan and a little bit of a document so that I can refer back to it when I probably will still run out of time this year and can look at it next year and go, oh yes, what did I want to sew again? So I know it's not particularly summery at the moment, but hopefully the summer will come, and obviously there'll be holidays coming up and things, so it will be nice to have some summer dresses. And in true Angela style, I had a list. I started writing down a little bit of a list of what dresses I wanted to make, and the list was like this big. So I have tried really hard to whittle this list down, and I wanted to put together a series where I would do like my top 5 woven dresses and my top 5 trouser patterns and that kind of thing, but I just am not able to do that because I've got too many that I want to talk to you about. So I'm going to go through styles. I think that's going to be my best option, and in this particular video there'll be a particular number of styles, and in a trouser pattern review it might be that there's less or more, so I hope that's okay with you. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was wrap dresses. So I have had a Guthrie Ghani Sewing Society kit in my armour for quite some time, and that is the Closet Core Elodie wrap dress. Now I absolutely love this dress. I think it is so elegant and absolutely beautiful. If you have access to Instagram, please do go and have a look at the hashtag, which I'll put the hashtag along the bottom of the screen, because there are some beautiful, beautiful versions of this dress and I just cannot wait to make it. I think I've got this fear of making the wrong size, and that's why I've been put off making it. I have some beautiful fabric which I'm going to share with you. I don't have fabric for all the dresses that I'm looking at today, but I thought I would share with you the bits of fabric that I do have. But this is what came in the kit. If you recognise it, it is because it is the exclusive print of fabric that is from Guthrie Ghani. They had it specially designed for them. I don't know if you can still get this. It's possible that you can, and if you can, it might be that it is in different types of fabric, so you might be able to get it in a jersey or sweatshirting, that kind of thing. But this is on a beautiful viscose, and I mean those colours are my colours. I just absolutely love it, and I just think that as an Elodie wrap dress would be beautiful. It has a really nice sort of flat tie bit that sort of comes around your tummy with a little bit of gathering that comes underneath the bust. It has a grown on sleeve. There's no insertion of a sleeve, and there are varying lengths that you can have, and I don't know how much fabric I've got of this, and because it was such a long time ago, I think that I possibly got the extra fabric to be able to make a really long swooshy version of this. When I was doing my Me Made May and looking at my reflections of Me Made May, I noticed that wearing a dress that was really long suited me, or much shorter suited me, but that in-betweeny sort of stage just wasn't quite right for me. So I'm hoping I have enough of this fabric to make that. Now, if you want to do a wrap dress and you don't particularly fancy the Elodie wrap dress, I do have an alternative for you, and that is the Burda 6207. I was having a little look at alternative wrap dresses, and I thought that this dress really looked beautiful, and it really replicated very similarly to the Closet Core Elodie wrap dress, and I thought that would work quite well as an alternative if you wanted something a bit different. So next up we've got slip dresses, and I have a few different slip dresses that I think are really beautiful. The first one, and the one that I definitely would like to make for myself, is the Sewing by Maison sewing patterns by Maison. I think that's what they're called. I'll put the name across the screen and I'll put pictures up on the screen as well. And I would like to make the Siciliy slip dress. Now I've made this before in some really beautiful slippery silky kind of fabrics, which has made an evening-y type gown dress. In fact, I wore one of them to the dressmaker's ball. And I would like to make a much more summery version, and I bought this fabric recently from Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, and I have shown you this already, and I thought this would make a wonderful Siciliy slip dress. It's just absolutely gorgeous colours. It's got proper summer vibes to it. It's got the big leaves. It's just, to me, that's just holiday on a piece of fabric. So that is the dress that I would like to make with this. I think it's a beautiful dress pattern. It's a dress that's cut on the bias. You have the option for little shoestring straps with a cowl neck, or you have the option for slightly wider straps, again with that cowl neck. It has a flat back to it. There's no caroling at the back at all. And it's, did I say it was cut on the bias? I think I did, but it's cut on the bias. So it drapes and falls absolutely beautifully across your body, and I absolutely love it. I'd like to make this version in as long a version as I possibly can. It will depend on how much the fabric will allow me to cut it at whatever length I can cut it. So a couple of different alternatives if you're not into a cowl neck type dress for a slip dress. There is obviously the very popular Friday Pattern Company saltwater slip dress. Now this is a dress that I have made before. I didn't have very much success with it, but I don't think that was anything to do with the pattern. That was just, I wasn't keen on the fabric that I used, and I didn't particularly get the fit right. But I do think that this is a beautiful dress, and one that I would like to revisit and absolutely nail down and get right. This doesn't have any caroling. It is just a straightforward scoop sort of neck and shoestring straps. It has a tie option to it, and it does look absolutely beautiful on lots of people. I've seen so many versions of it, which is what inspired me in the beginning to make it. So that's an alternative. Now I do have a couple of other alternatives in terms of slip dresses, and that is a slightly more evening-y type wear, and that is the Vicky Sews Lucia slip. So I'm having to refer to my my notes here. So the Lucia has a V back to it with a crisscross across the back where the straps kind of come and fall. I think the front is very slightly cowled, or if it's not, it's just scooped. But again, I think this is an absolutely stunning dress, and I think if you were going on holiday and you wanted an evening-y type dress, I think this would be a simple dress to make, and it looks absolutely stunning. And then when I was searching for slip dresses, I did come across an older pattern, which is a Simplicity, and that is the S8545. I think that's the number I've got written down there. And that is a beautiful dress. It comes with a slip dress, and then with the option to make sort of a gauze or a netted type of dress over the top of it. But I thought this pattern was very good because it had lots of different options. It had sort of a slip dress with sleeves, the slip dress with the shoestring straps. You've then got the option of doing the overlay as well, which I thought just looked absolutely beautiful and a really good alternative to any of the other patterns that I've mentioned. In this section, I wanted to share with you the sponsors of this video, Serious Brands. If you're anything like me and you like to create, whether that's sewing, knitting, crochet, or any other kind of craft of any sort, you'll know how important it is to have a really well lit space. I've been using my Serious lights for a couple of years now, and they are an absolute game changer. They use something called daylight wavelength technology, which perfectly mimics natural daylight. I find when using them that I have a reduction in eye strain, and they just make everything look a little bit more vibrant and true to life. The lights are really easy to use, and they have lots of different ways of adjusting them to suit your needs. So as you can see, I have a Gemini lamp, so a two-headed lamp, and they have these rods on them which are fully movable, and they're really, really sturdy. So it doesn't matter how much that you bend them around. When you want to put them back up into their original shape, it's easy to do. They feel very robust. In addition to that, the lights have an adjustment on the front where you can change the focus of the light. So you can be a broader light or a narrow light. They turn on easily enough with a button just underneath their handle. And on the back of the light, there is an adjustment so you can dim them or brighten them to their maximum. As you can see from me using them here, obviously I'm in a very well lit room anyway, so the difference between what you're seeing isn't as great as it would be if it was of an evening, but honestly, when you're using some dark fabric, say, even if it is daytime, using that underneath these lights really makes a massive difference. I have an exclusive code for you which will get you £100 off of any of their high definition range. It will also give you free delivery to anybody living in the UK. The code that you'll need to use is Devon24. I'll pop that up on the screen. I'll also list it down in the description of this video below, together with a link to their website. So if you're like me and you love anything that's going to aid your crafting, like I say, whether that's sewing, knitting, etc, etc, then please do use the code and get your £100 off and free delivery. I hope that you've enjoyed listening about my high definition lights. I absolutely love them. They are fantastic and I wouldn't be without them. Thanks so much for watching this section of the video. Another dress style that I have really wanted to sew is something with a backless style. I don't know how to put that. A backless back. So I have a couple of options for this. I have two options. So the first one is the Maison Fauve Cuba Libre. So this is a dress that has only come out very recently and it is absolutely stunning. I went ahead and bought the pattern. Now I like this because the skirt has a really nice couple of panels on it, so it means that it is a wider skirt with a bit more swoosh to it, but there's no gathering on the skirt. The skirt is actually flat and lays flat across your tummy, but there is gathering on the bodice, which I thought made this really interesting. It has flutter sleeves and it has the option to have a back or be backless. The back option and the backless option have a little bit of elastic around the back, nothing on the front, and then on the backless version there is a tie. I don't think there's a zip on this. In fact, I'm absolutely sure there's no zip. I think it just does slip over your head because of the V at the front. I have seen a couple of versions of this already, and the lovely Cara from So Mad has made a Cuba Libre, and it's just absolutely stunning and beautiful. So I cannot wait to have a go at making this. However, there is another backless dress that I would like to make. It's not exactly the same. It is slightly different in terms of it has a very different fit to it, but equally I think it is absolutely beautiful. And that is the New Look 6696. And I've had this pattern for quite some time now. I think I saw it on a pattern review a couple of years ago. So it just looks like a dress with darts on the waist and the bust, and it has a really nice panelled skirt, but not such drape and flare to it as the Cuba Libre has, with a split coming up off of it here. And the difference with this is it has a version here which has a full back to it, an enclosed back, and then it has this version here where you can actually change the back so it has a tie or even buttons, and I just really like that. I think that's very, very pretty, and I love the idea of having a go at actually both of those. I mean, we don't know what time we're going to have, so we'll have to see, but I love the idea of doing that. Now I've got a couple of fabrics that I've got here that I think would work well in both of those dresses. I quite like the idea of the Cuba Libre being in something with a white background, and I have this viscose crepe which I've had for quite some time. Shock horror, it's animal print, and I know I don't do animal print normally, but I really like this fabric. It's very lightweight and floaty, and I think that would be absolutely perfect for that floaty style, the floaty sleeves and the really beautiful drapey skirt. I think that would look stunning, especially if it was backless as well, and I think that would suit me. Obviously, you know, make sure I've got a bit of a tan while I'm wearing it, but yeah, I think that would look really lovely. And then the other fabrics that I've got, oh, I bought that from Rainbow Fabrics a few years ago. And then the other fabrics that I have, one of which I don't know where I bought it from, unfortunately, but this is a cotton lawn, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I thought that would work well in the New Look dress. I thought that would look absolutely stunning in that, and I love the idea of that. I think if you were going to a wedding or something and you had that in the backless version, wouldn't that be just lovely? Just absolutely stunning. So I really like that, and that's what I would like to make that dress out of. But another fabric, I have a viscose And again, I think this would work well in either of those dresses. And I got this from a Beyond the Pink Door subscription box. I bought a one-off box one time, and there was this beautiful, beautiful viscose in it. Very similar to this really, but just almost different colorways really, and a different, you know, type of fabric as well. But yes, I thought that was absolutely stunning and would work well for both of those dresses. So the next dress style that I'd like to talk to you about, I don't actually have any fabric for that I have in mind to make this style of dress, but I have had one of these dress patterns for quite some time. In fact, I've got two of them, but one of them I want to make more than anything. And I really need to find a fabric that I think, that's it. You know, when you just know, you'll see it and you'll go, that's the fabric for that dress. And the style that I want to talk to you about is a Milkmaid type style dress. Now, the one that probably comes to everybody's mind is the Tilly and the Buttons Mable dress. And this is a really lovely dress, and with Tilly and the Buttons, obviously there's going to be absolutely fantastic instructions the whole way through, holding your hand. It has a sheared section across the middle, which I really like the idea of, but I am a little bit nervous about doing shearing. I have done a bit of shearing before, but I do need to rev myself up, ready to give that another go. But I think that would be a really nice pattern to make for a Milkmaid style dress. However, the Milkmaid style dress that I really want to make is by somebody called Lydia Naomi, and I'll put pictures up on the screen of this as well. And this is actually called Dream Frock, and it is just absolutely stunning. So it's very slightly different from the Mable dress in that it doesn't have shearing across here. It has a flat panel, which I think is something I would possibly prefer, which is why I'm being drawn more to that. Now, I'm putting pictures up of the stock photos of this particular dress, but please, please, please go and have a look at some of the Instagram posts of this dress, and I'll put the Instagram hashtag up on the screen because there are some stunning versions of this, and I just keep seeing them and dreaming about them and thinking I have to make that. And this is the year I'm going to make that dress. So I really want to have a go at that. Now, I believe this probably does have a zip in it, whereas the Mable is all shearing, and so it can go over your head easily. So that's what the difference is going to be with that. I have got an alternative again for a Milkmaid type style dress, and I think this one actually crosses over into two of my categories, and that is the McCall's M7946. So this dress actually has a different type of take on it. So it does again come across quite straight across the chest, and then with little poofy shoulders and sleeves, which I think is really cute. And then it has a line of a channel of elastic which creates that ruching. Now, if you go onto Instagram and look at the hashtag again, I'll put it on the screen. If you look at the hashtag of this pattern, lots of people have done different takes on this. So they have done it with, as the pattern intends, with the elastic going across the bodice. But some people have actually changed it and they have done shearing all the way across it as well. So really versatile dress pattern. I think it's a really good option for this style of dress. Next up, I have a strappy type dress. It's not a very, there's probably no category of dress that's called that as a strappy type thing. So anyway, a little while ago in one of my videos, I shared with you a picture of a dress that I had seen on a catalogue from Sea Salt, and I absolutely love this dress, and lots of people came to me with various ideas, and I am so grateful. So thank you so much if you're anybody that messaged me either on YouTube or on Instagram. One of the dresses that came up time and time again was the new Helen's Closet Lockhart dress, and I am absolutely all over this. I just think this is a stunning dress. I do think that this would be something to be made up really fun in a big check fabric. Now, I don't have any check fabric. I have some gingham, and I haven't brought that out to show you at the moment, but I have got some fabric which I think would look really beautiful in that dress. The Lockhart actually comes as a dress or a jumpsuit, really wide leg, and I think both the dress and the jumpsuit is stunning, and I would really like to have a go at both. I have actually seen some fabric which I haven't got yet, which I quite fancy purchasing, but I'm trying to be really good and use up fabric in my stash at the moment. So this is what I have. I bought this from Guthrie Garney a couple of years ago. It's a viscose fabric. I think it's actually a navy blue background as opposed to black. It looks black on the screen with a really small white florally type design, leafy florally design. And I just think that in the Lockhart would look really, really beautiful. Now, as an alternative to the Lockhart, there is another new pattern out which I think is equally beautiful. The Lockhart is a fitted bodice with a flat attachment, if you like, for the skirt and the jumpsuit bottoms. So there's no ruching, there's no gathering, there's no elastic or anything like that. It's just a flat seam, and the top half has darts in the waist and I think in the bust. But an alternative to that is the True Bias Darla dress. And I like this dress because this has a bit of a twist on it. So I think it's really similar to the Lockhart, except for the fact that it has more of a gathered skirt or a gathered jumpsuit, because again, this comes in two different versions. You can have the dress or the jumpsuit version. But as an alternative to this, it has a different back option. So you can have the dress or the jumpsuit as a fully enclosed back, and that's then got a zip that goes down the back. Or you can have it as a tie, so it's semi-backless. You've got a little bit of a gap at the bottom of your back and it ties, and then the opening for that then is different. It's then an elastic section across the back where the skirt or the trousers finish, and I just think that that's a really lovely alternative. So you've got those two different styles. You've got the one that's much more sort of streamlined and fitted, and one that's sort of a bit more floaty and not casual, because I think depending on how you dress it up, it could look really stunning. But I think those two, the Lockhart and the Darla, are beautiful strappy dress type style dresses. So on to sheared dresses and actual sheared bodice of dresses. I really want to have a go at making one of these, and there are so many patterns out there that it was really hard to choose one. But I have a dress that I bought from, I think it was New Look a couple of years ago, and I really like the style of it. I really like the way it fitted, and I think this pattern really replicates the dress that I had bought from New Look, and that is the Victory Patterns Sophia dress. I really like the way that on the dress it has non-sheared section down here, and then the sleeves attached to it, and then everything else is sheared below, and then you have a tiered dress. I just think the style of this is absolutely beautiful. I think that you could wear this and really dress it up, or you could wear it with pumps and be really casual with it as well. I just think it's a really beautiful type style dress, and having already owned a dress that is a very similar style, I'm really keen to make it and replicate it. Now the one that I have, surprise surprise, is blue, which I am a bit of a blue girl. I do like blues, but the fabric that I've chosen to potentially make this dress up in is very different from blue. It is bright red with these beautiful little ditzy flowers on them, and again, I bought this some time ago, but it was from Rainbow Fabrics. It's the sort of fabric that they have in time and time again, so it's worth looking up and having a little look. But yes, I really like this fabric, and it's a viscose. I think it would work well as a sheer dress. Now, I spoke earlier about another dress when I was talking about the Milkmaid style dresses, and that was the McCall's M7946. And the reason that I want to mention it again is because obviously I said about the fact that some people had sheared this dress, and I think this dress crosses over from sheared and Milkmaid. I think you could use that pattern for a sheared type style dress as well. I think it would work really well. I will see if I can find some photos online of the sheared version of this dress that I've seen and share it on this video as well. But either of those I think would look lovely in this type of fabric. Last but not least, I have button down dresses slash shirt dresses. There are two dress patterns that I particularly love, and the dresses that I really would like to make are the Seasons of East Autumn in London pattern. Now, I've had this in my stash for quite some time. I bought it when I went to a show, probably 2 if not 3 years ago, and every time I go to another show and the Seasons of East stand is there, I think they're not going to remember who I am, but they always go, "You made your dress yet?" I'm like, "No, I haven't, I'm really sorry." Every year I think, I'm going to make that dress and I'm going to wear it, because I feel so guilty that I haven't made it yet. Now, I really like this shirt dress. I think it's beautiful. It comes, the pattern already comes in a really long length, so it comes right to my ankles. I like the fact that it isn't hugely excessive in the fabric in the skirt section. It's got quite a nice streamlined type look to it. The sleeve detail is absolutely beautiful. There's a really nice sort of pleat detail in the sleeve, which I think is really pretty. And I just really like having the idea of having a go at this dress. Now, they have their dress in, or their samples in a beautiful pale pink with a dot, I think it is, or it might even be a brown with a dot in it. And it looks absolutely stunning, but I don't have fabric like that, unfortunately. But what I do have is either another very bright red, and I bought this when I was away on a trip with the lovely Cara from So Mad. We went to London and we went into a little shop. I don't know what the name of the shop is. It is a viscose. It's incredibly inexpensive. It's the sort of thing that you would probably be able to buy from somewhere like the Birmingham rag market. It was literally about £2 a metre. So I love the idea of making up the dress in something like this. I think, again, it would be very different from all of the other types of clothes that I have, because I am very blue, like I said, so I'm trying to bring in some more colour in. And another colour I love is green, and I've only just discovered that recently, so I need to find some more green fabric as well. But I like this fabric, and I have another button down dress. I'm waiting to show you this other fabric. I've already made this dress, and I did make this dress in green. In fact, I made it in the green version of this fabric, and it is the McCall's M7974, and oh my gosh, I am in love with this dress. I love it so much that I just want to make it again. I made a short sleeve version and I made it so it was this sort of length, but I love the idea again of extending it and making it really long. It has gathers around the bust, a flat front around the midriff, and then a nice floaty free style skirt, and it has pockets in it, which is just lovely. And I made this dress up. I had it made for about 12 months and didn't put the buttons on it because I was scared of buttons. So now I've made it and I'm in love with it. I want to make it again. And the fabric that I have that I think would match this beautifully and be different from my green one is this party confetti fabric. Now, I've seen this in lots and lots of shops. I believe I bought mine when I was in Make at 140, which have now changed their name to Make Fabric Boutique in Plymouth. So I think I bought that there, but they do have it in lots of different shops. I'm not sure if Lizzie still has it at Make, but it's a really beautiful viscose, and yeah, it's a Dashwood Studio fabric, and I think that in that dress, in that pattern, would be absolutely beautiful. So I know that is quite a lot of patterns and a little bit of a different take. I'm not specifying exactly which pattern it is that I'm going to be making or what fabrics, but I just wanted to share with you some different styles and different alternatives for styles, different patterns and pattern companies that you could potentially use. I hope that you've enjoyed that, and if you have, let me know if you'd like to see some other variations of this in the series, for example trousers or skirts, tops, etc., that kind of thing. I really enjoy sharing videos with you and I like to get your feedback, so it'd be really great if you could let me know. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Let me know which style dress is your preferred style. Are you going to be trying any of these, or have you got any other suggestions that you could let myself and the other viewers know? Anyway, you take care, happy sewing everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, bye.